A heroic scene today in Louisville as Louisville Fire and EMS rescued a semi-truck driver that was dangling over the Kennedy Bridge today. Thanks for joining us here at 6:30. I'm Alex Dieterer. Authorities say the driver just passed over into Kentucky when he lost control and crashed into a rail. The cab, the driver in it, dangling over the interstate. WHAS11's Clarice Shaley and photojournalist Aspen Hester are live now under the scene where this all happened. And Clarice, after hours of being closed, that highway I-65 is now back open for drivers.
Yes, Alex, take a look at I-65 South. TriMark says that those southbound lanes are now open, but they were closed for some time as they repaired a barrier that the truck crashed into. Now, this is all after a scary and crazy situation we all know Louisville Fire is well trained to handle. They arrived to the scene a little after 9:45 this morning. LMPD reports the driver of the semi lost control for an unknown reason and struck the rail of the bridge, which caused the cab of the tractor to hang over the rail with the driver inside. Louisville Fire was on scene within 7 minutes, and a rescue crew rappelled down into the truck to pull the driver out. LFD says the rescue took 30 minutes.
And he was in good spirits. When our firefighter was with him, got him in that harness. He got out. He actually was waving to the first responders there and thanking people, so he was in good shape.
The driver was taken to the hospital as a precaution, but he wasn't physically hurt. Now, Suburban Towing is contracted by the city to help with accidents like this, and Jim Knight with Suburban Towing tells me this is a frequent place they respond to.
I'm not sure if drivers are not paying attention or they think they're supposed to be getting off an exit, so they try to correct really fast and they lose control.
Just yesterday, Jim Knight says he was at this exact same spot responding to a crash of a semi that was pulling cars. He says the force of that crash threw the engine out of the semi-truck and also damaged the cars that were being pulled. Now again, take a look at where that wreck was. Hopefully you can tell from where I'm standing down here how far of a drop that would have been. Now, a Louisville Fire did have a crew down here ready to respond if the worst were to happen. Live on East Witherspoon Street, Clarice Shaley, WHAS 11 on your side.
Thank you, Clarice. A man is now dead and a woman is in the hospital after a shooting on University Boulevard last night. LMPD says just after midnight, officers responded to a call in the 400 block of University Boulevard. When officers arrived, they found a man and woman who had been shot. Both of them were taken to University Hospital. The man died at the hospital, but the woman is expected to survive. LMPD says all parties are accounted for and the department's homicide unit is investigating. And a man was found dead inside a vehicle on Dixie Highway last night as well. Officers responded to reports of a shooting at Dixie Highway and West Hill Street just before 3 this morning. When they got there, they found a man with a gunshot wound inside a car. EMS says he died at the scene. Officers say the vehicle hit a medical office building in the 1600 block of Dixie Highway. And another man is dead after a stabbing in the Shawnee neighborhood. It happened in the 100 block South 41st Street at around 11:30 last night. The man was taken to University Hospital where he later died. There are no confirmed suspects as of right now for this incident. If you have any information about any of these cases, you can call the anonymous tip line at 574 LMPD. Well, we just saw Clarice and Aspen standing outside. It's been another rainy day here in Kentuckiana, so let's check in now with meteorologist Danielle Moss with how long this rain is sticking around. Danielle?
Start to see this low pressure system just kind of lingering into your Monday, unfortunately, but we're going to get some relief very soon this week. Here's a look at our satellite and radar. The low pressure is sitting right above us and right below us, moving through Kentucky as well as portions of Tennessee, as well as Missouri, and we're all just getting in on a little bit of that rain action this evening, unfortunately. As we take a closer look here at home, it's just cycling in the same spot. So we're seeing brief periods of dryness to heavy rain to moderate rain. rain. Good news is no severe weather. So that's the good news that you can take away with you. However, this rainfall will be continuing throughout the next few hours. In fact, as of right now, it is nice and it's a little bit chilly out there, but we're going to be drying out soon. Here's a look at the next 12 hours for you. Expect that rainfall to be continuing throughout your Monday morning, and then we'll start to dry out just a little bit as we get ready for your Tuesday. But then more rainfall will be on the way. I'll time all of that out for you coming up in my full forecast.
Thank you, Danielle. The 151st Kentucky Derby season is winding down after an historic year of weather impacts on Derby festivities. And people who camped out for Derby are now cleaning up, but unfortunately they have to do all of that in the rain. We spoke to someone from Wisconsin where they say coming to the Derby is tradition for them, and the rain wasn't stopping it.
We actually had a picture up on our tent we had built. My dad came here in 1975, and every year since then, him and his friends, or one of us, have all come back ever since. We came up with 20 guys this week. We rent out one of the homes. We have the RV. We have all these things going on, and we have a little bit of fun.
Rain or shine, Parr tells us the weather made no difference this week for him. He still made a lot of friends and was able to have a special week. New information tonight from the Kentucky Justice and Public Safety Cabinet show overdose deaths in the state in 2024 were down by more than 30%. But a local health center says that decline could be jeopardized amid budget cuts at the federal level. According to the report, more than 142,000 Kentuckians received addiction services through Medicaid in 2024. 7 county services offer substance use treatment across the state, and they tell us they've personally seen the reduction in deaths, attributing the decline to the use of a medication that can treat narcotic overdose, and that's called Narcan. A number of their programs rely on grant funding. One is Kentucky Opioid Response Effort. Earlier this week, the Trump administration proposed cutting a $56 million annual grant program that distributes the medication and trains emergency responders to administer it.
I believe that the reduction in opioid overdose deaths is directly attributable to the availability and use of Narcan in the community, particularly in rural areas where emergency services may have to travel quite a long ways to reach a person in distress. So I think when we look at cutting funding, I think you're going, if that were to happen, I think you would see a rise in overdose deaths.
In 2024 alone, 107,000 doses of Narcan were given. Well, the deadline to get a real ID is fast approaching after years of being postponed and delayed. May 7th is the deadline. On Thursday, Governor Andy Beshear announced a new initiative to save Kentuckians from long lines at driver licensing offices. The skip the line renewal options include visiting an eye specialist and asking for a vision screening form and uploading it online. You can also visit a licensing office, get a vision screening and renew online, or visit a licensing office, get the vision screening, and fill out a renewal form on site without waiting and receive a temporary license through your email. And that last option is to renew by mail. You can print and fill out the mail-in form and attach a completed vision form from an eye specialist. You can visit our website, WHAS11, for more information on these renewal options.